Hi guys, welcome back to Axes and Allies, the Garrison. This is Detroit coming to you from the bunker here in Rochelle Park, New Jersey once again with another episode of the Axes and Allies, the Garrison with the YouTube Wars. Okay guys, so it is the UK's turn. It is Corporal 24's turn to go ahead and make his moves. As we all know, Corporal 24 has been playing without a capital. He has not been collecting income. He has not been really building any serious amount of units for his armies. He is building, but at a limited rate. That means that the UK, in essence, is playing with a very limited production capacity. Okay, as a consequence of the UK losing its capital a couple of rounds ago to the Germans with an Operation Sea Lion that was successfully implemented and carried out by Field Marshal Sired Blood. So now it is the sixth round. Corporal 24 is still, though, even though he is hamstrung and is limited, he is still being a very effective contender. He's still implementing moves that are key and critical to the Allied war effort. And we're going to see in this round how it is that Corporal 24 goes about making moves that are critical and definitely that are helping the allies with the war effort. Okay, all right. So basically that's about it as my intro here for the UK's turn. I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and as always, I look forward to hearing what your commentaries are. I don't always agree, and you guys don't always agree with me. We agree to disagree, and sometimes we agree to agree. So in any case, guys, keep them coming. I like to hear what you guys have to say as always, okay? All right, so enjoy the episode, and let's see what happens. All right, guys, so this is the current ground situation and naval situation for the UK. Currently, as you guys well know, the UK capital, London, has fallen to the German Wehrmacht, and it's currently occupied. So the UK does have a fleet off the coast of New Brunswick with one battleship and one cruiser, along with the rest of the American fleet off the coast of New Brunswick, in effect threatening a possible future invasion of either the UK itself or liberation and or a possible landing in the future as well in Morocco or Gibraltar. Okay, the UK also has two infantry divisions in Brazil. Okay, in the Mediterranean, things are starting to definitely heat up. You have this massive fleet with plenty of ground units, German and Italian units, that can definitely now start expanding into the Middle East. Middle East and Mediterranean, I would say. Definitely the victory objective point for the Axis. Egypt is one of them. Okay, there's also the Mediterranean victory point where I believe it's if the Axis acquire Malta, Cyprus, and I think Greece, and I'm forgetting maybe another one. That's another victory objective. And also if the Axis control Northern Africa, that's a third victory objective that is within range for the Axis. So definitely, currently the Axis have 9 out of 12 points. That will definitely be their 12 points. However, it's easier said than done because things for the Axis in particular are looking a little bit questionable in the Pacific as regards to the victory points, because the Americans and their allies, the British, the Anzacs, and the Chinese, and even the Russians, can have a go at Hong Kong. Okay, and also there's the added question of Leningrad. Can Leningrad hold against a possible Soviet strike? Okay, so definitely the game is still up and running. There's no clear winner right now. Definitely the game can be won by either side, either the Axis or the Allies. I know that some of you have already made up your minds, and considering that the game has been won by the Axis because the UK capital has fallen. But remember, guys, this is not a gentleman's game, and this is definitely not an out-of-box game. We're not playing with young grasshoppers rules here. It's a definite different set of rules. It's a bloodbath rules with different rule sets, and that changes the game dynamic. Hence, even though the UK has collapsed, the UK has been invaded, does not mean that the Allies are losing this war. Okay, at this point in time, maybe a round or two ago, things were looking a little bit questionable for the Allies, but the Allies have been shown that we are resilient and that we could definitely still hurt the enemy, and that we can most definitely still win this game. And I think the Axis players know that. Okay, so in any case, we're going to go ahead with the purchases that Corporal 24 made for the Allies. Okay, at least for the British. The Canadians purchased one naval transport with the 7 IPCs that they're collecting with or for Canada. Okay, and for the UK Pacific in Calcutta, the British purchased 12 points of damage for their industrial complex in Calcutta, which means now that this complex has 8 IPCs worth of damage. Okay, let's not forget that Generalissimo G.I. Joe had been performing an excellent job throughout the war effort, the Axis war effort, where he constantly kept on pounding the industrial complex in Calcutta, reducing its capacity to produce any war material at all whatsoever. So definitely G.I. Joe did an excellent job realizing that taking that complex out of denying that complex its means of production was the way to go, and that definitely he was very effective at that. Okay, so let's go ahead with the one single battle that the British will be performing during this round. Okay, so the UK will be invading or liberating Szechwan for the Chinese. Okay, so let's declare that as a battle movement. The British will be moving their single mechanized infantry division through Yunnan that had been previously liberated by the American armored division currently occupying Yunnan, and will move into Szechwan. So that territory is now liberated, at least for now. In effect, bringing back the Burma Road for the Chinese. So the Burma Road is no longer out of commission, and it's currently in effect. Okay, so let's go into the non-combat movements. And now this is the part of the game for Corporal 24 where he will shine, I think, because the movements that he will make now definitely will make a big difference for the war effort for the Allies. All right, so let's go ahead with the non-combat movements that Corporal 24 made for the British here in the Pacific. Okay, so Corporal 24 moved these 2 infantry and 2 artillery pieces into Yunnan, reinforcing the single American armored division already there that had liberated this territory in the previous round. And also 1 AAA goes in there as well. So now in Yunnan, you have 2 artillery divisions, 2 infantry divisions, British, and 1 American armored division, along with 1 British AAA defending Yunnan. Okay, keep in mind that the Burma Road now has been liberated, or actually been brought back, and is in bringing back supplies into China. All right, so Burma, this single infantry division moves back to Calcutta, India. All right, now the naval transport in Sea Zone 39 moves in at 1 movement of 1, picks up this single infantry and artillery divisions, movement of 1 at 38, movement of 2 at 37, movement of 3 at 38, and that's because let's not forget that there is a naval base in Calcutta, okay, which allows let me see something here. Yes, that allows that naval transport to go into Quangsi, okay, into Sea Zone 36. Now we can perform that naval landing. And now at Quangsi, you have two infantry, one American, one British artillery, and one American artillery divisions defending Quangsi. Okay, so that those are the units that are currently there. Okay, so the naval transport in Sea Zone 80, okay, will pick up one mechanized infantry division from Persia and one infantry division from Iraq, and at a movement of two, we'll move into Sea Zone 81. So that's Sea Zone 80, Sea Zone 76, and then Sea Zone 81, and we'll be placing the two divisions in Egypt in order to reinforce the garrison in Cairo. Okay, now the remaining artillery division in Iraq will be moving east and will be reinforcing the mechanized infantry division in Persia. So you have two divisions in Persia still. All right, and all right, so let's go to Korea, where, let me walk around over, where we have two British infantry divisions and one strategic bomber that will be performing the role of air transport, and will be moving these units into Quangsi. So it'll be a movement of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so this bomber will be landing, and we'll be bringing along an additional 2 infantry divisions into Quangsi. So now in Quangsi, that had also been liberated the previous round by the Americans, you have a total of 3 British, 1 American division, 1 British artillery, and 1 American artillery division, along with the strategic bomber that was just landed there as well. So, okay, so definitely southern China has been beefed up by the Allies, okay, and a situation here is developing for the Japanese, where they have to deal with this new force of Allied forces to their southern flank. And let's not forget that now Hong Kong is in danger of being taken by the Allies. All right, so let's go ahead with let's not forget about the eastern, not eastern, actually in the Atlantic, where the British still have some movements to be made. So the fighter in Quebec will take off, will engage, and will go at a movement of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and it will land in Iceland. Okay, so I think that's about it for our non-combat movements for the British. Okay, let's go with the single placement of 1 unit, which is a naval transport for the British Navy, which will be placed in Sea Zone 106, I believe. Yes, 106. All right. So definitely, even though the UK did not perform any major attacks, it was, as a matter of fact, it was 1 minor attack in Szechwan, but it was an attack, a liberation of Szechwan, which was a key, critical, strategic liberation that took place there, because the Burma Road is now back, and which will allow the Chinese to produce war material, assuming that the Japanese will not take it back. Okay, but right now the Japanese have a serious manpower issue on the Pacific or Asian theater of war, which means that they have to conserve or at least maximize the efficiency of all their ground units. So is it worth it for the Japanese actually, to retake Szechwan only to lose it next round? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. In any case, guys, let me know what you think. As always, definitely things are getting hot and heavy, not only here in the Pacific, but also in the European theater of war. Okay, a lot of things are going to start happening here soon for the Axis. We know it, and we know it's coming, and we shall find out during Germany and Italy's turn this round. All right, guys, let me know what you think, and hope you enjoyed this episode. And now it is Dutch Lancaster's turn. The torch has been handed over to him. Okay, the Anzacs and then the French will be making their final moves, and we're now at the end of round 6, I would say, and we're looking now at the beginning of round 7. All right, guys, don't forget to bunker down and play.